Here we are again, Edgar County Watchdogs. I'm Kirk Allen.
I'm John Kraft.
We're going to do a quick update on the Preacher Man out of Fort Iroquois Public Health Department. Got some interesting emails. We're going to zip through this as quick as we can. Apparently these folks up here, they don't understand the FOIA. I did a FOIA request for all the emails between the board members over a 60-day period. And Julie Clark, now she's their FOIA officer, asked me to narrow my request of emails to emails related to the health department.
Really? Well, that's all they're supposed to provide anyway.
Yeah, I sent her an email back kind of letting her know that. I'm not sure what it was that she was thinking, but apparently she thought that for some reason I was asking for something else. I guess it came because of Preacher Man's email where, you know, he didn't want me to have all the emails of his in-laws and his kids and his wife and etc.
So we did get emails pertaining to the health department.
You betcha. And boy, did we get some information. Turns out Mr. Preacher Man's been doing some background checks. He's been looking for a license for Lauren in both Illinois and Indiana because she was presented as a professional in a mental health field.
That's an Iroquois County appointed board member.
Correct.
Health board member.
Correct. And
why is he looking for licenses? It ain't his job to verify anything.
well,
It's the
apparently,
Iroquois County board's job.
I wonder what his credentials are.
He calls himself a preacher, so that's his credential.
Yeah. Yeah, he must seem to think that there's a problem there because he's going after her. He's can't find anything in Illinois on the nursing field discipline or mental health disciplines as far as a license. And he says Illinois forwarded the inquiry to the department that investigates the area. So now he started a formal investigation. I've been told that I could forward the results of the Indiana inquiry to the AG, Indiana AG. My plan is to try to do that before I have my angiogram on June 3rd, unless I come up with documentation that would reveal her area of practice is in one of these states. I'm really confused on this. Did you call and ask her? No, I don't
Probably
think
not. Yeah,
I don't think he's done that.
He's probably researching topics again for her name.
Well, he does understand that Mr. Corbett has a copy of her resume.
What's he doing with the copy?
Great question, because
He's got nothing to do with the board.
he works for the board, not the other way around.
Right.
So he really doesn't need to have a copy of her resume. Now, it's public record, but it would make no sense that you would give it to Mr. Corbett.
Right.
I believe that if she is a professional, that she would need a license if she is actually doing mental health intervention.
So that's in his opinion.
Right. That's one of them in his opinion.
In his opinion.
He
All right.
believes, and that's actually doing mental health intervention. So he doesn't really know what she's doing. So I did file a FOIA request for any complaint that he may have filed, because he does reference that he's going to file a formal complaint. Boy, I hope he didn't lie on that complaint, because that's subject to perjury.
What else did he talk about?
Boy, where do you start, John?
Well,
This guy can ramble.
he talked about your offer to talk to the board and present all the documents that you have that we based all of our articles off of. And he claims it's another attempt at gaining news coverage. And he says it's a last-minute desire to share the truth. And it comes a bit late. Well, we've been sharing the truth since day one, and
Clear back in March, first story we ran on it, with documents to support everything we said.
sent multiple offers and pleas for them to look at the documents, and so far they refused, and now there's another excuse. It's too late.
It's too late. Is it ever too late for the truth?
No,
Does the truth have an agenda?
no.
And what was it he said we're going to do to the truth?
He says the offer is insincere and focused, well, that's his opinion, that it's insincere.
Right. Didn't
And
he say
focused to do more damage to the truth if possible.
How do you damage truth?
Yeah.
Boy, this guy. He sends one to Dr. Brucker. I'm glad to hear that there's movement to get outside representation in the legal arena. I guess he hasn't got the message that your representation is your state's attorneys. You can't hire a private attorney. Didn't we get rid of the private attorney they had?
Yeah.
I mean, we brought that to the forefront and said, guys, you can't do it. We're the ones that brought that truth to make sure that could stop. You're not allowed to spend our tax money for that. Well, what's he say about their state's attorney? The Iroquois County State's Attorney. And this is coming from Reverend Teddy Jensen, aka Preacher Man.
The one that previously accused him of being on chemicals.
Right.
Yeah.
The more that I learn about relationships and tie-ins in Iroquois County, I believe that Mr. Devine has been the Judas goat to lead the department to destruction. He actually calls the state's attorney a Judas goat.
Judas goat.
That's the Preacher Man. Now, for those that don't know what a Judas goat is, that's typically a lead goat that leads animals to the slaughter. They also lead them to pastures and to water and other things too, but more commonly they lead them to slaughter.
So in our opinion, Mr. Jensen is the Ford County's version of the Judas goat to the health department.
Hey, that's a good point.
There you go, Mr. Judas goat.
He does acknowledge there's been some kind of fraud. He says, I'm in 100% agreement with you in regard to correcting the fraud that has been perpetrated on the department from a legal point of view. And he goes on to talk about the statutes. I'm not an attorney, however, when I read the statutes that apply to what was done there, I believe that the law was not followed.
Oh, we read statutes now.
Yeah.
Don't you have one?
Yeah, it's that little statute. It's a whole sentence long. All members shall serve without compensation, but may be reimbursed for actual necessary expenses incurred in the performance of their duties. And that leads to, oh gosh, another FOIA that proved what?
They got paid.
They got paid. The board members were paying themselves for going to meetings, and it specifically says, shall serve without compensation. But he does read the statutes.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give him a break. He says he's not an attorney. Do you need to be an attorney to understand serve without compensation?
No.
Don't think so. He complains about relying on legal representation that's not costing the department. He says we're going to get just what we pay for. So in essence, if you pay for it, you're getting good. Did that lawyer they had that they were paying for give them good advice?
No.
No.
Didn't.
No, that got him in a world of hurt, actually.
Yeah, it's a pretty good article to write about.
Yep.
Cease and desist.
That was good. Took us all of about a day to put that one up.
Yeah.
Oh, what else here? One last thing. He's pleased to hear that we have members of the Ford County Board who can see what is being done here. I didn't think the Ford County guys saw anything. They said they haven't seen anything, but he says he can see what's being done. I realize that we may not be able to undo everything that's been done. However, I would work to undo as much of it as possible, as I think that is the righteous thing to do.
You ever notice how every time there's a health department meeting or a Ford County board meeting, they all complain that they've never seen any evidence or any documentation. But when you give it to them, they never look. And
Right.
then they say it's too late.
Too late, and we're just doing it for, what do you call it, for more media exposure?
Yeah, media exposure.
Well, you got anything else, John?
Well, he talks to Eleanor about he doesn't like watchdogs who make money off stirring the pot.
Make money.
Yeah, we don't make any money off of this.
He said we make money?
That's what he said.
I missed that email.
Of course, yeah, that was probably in his opinion. And he says, while giving out misinformation, knowing that what we're saying is not the truth.
Wow, that's quite a statement. So he's basically saying we are lying to everybody.
Well, he lied when he said that, because he knows what he's saying is not the truth, but he said it anyway.
Well, he might be on some of them same chemicals that, he referenced the state's attorney being on. Maybe he's just not thinking straight.
Well, that's it for today.
Thank you much. Stay tuned for the next update.